Her victory last night, claiming the Democratic nomination for governor of Georgia. Stacey Abrams has already made history. Well, now she has her sights set on making even more at the governor's mansion. The former state House Minority Leader doesn't yet know who she will face in November, but one thing is for sure, the eyes of the nation will be certainly watching this race, and we're pleased to have Miss Abrams joining us this morning on Good Day Atlanta. Congratulations to you, and thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Have you slept at all?
3 hours.
3 hours, that's all you really need, right? 3
Exactly.
hours, 3 good quality hours of sleep.
State.
Okay, so let's talk about the governor's race, really on both sides. The polls kind of had this right going in. Not a lot of surprises on either side. Is that kind of how you thought it might play out?
Well, we thought that we were doing the good work across the state of Georgia. We were going into every community. We were knocking every door. And the result was historic turnout in a midterm for Democrats. And we were very excited about that and what it means for going forward.
Let's talk about the history of the whole thing. I mean, how do you feel like a pioneer, like you're breaking ground? And I know that you have your sights set on making more history.
Look, I'm privileged to be in a position to start to change what the face of leadership can look like in Georgia and across the country. But I'm even more excited about what this means for average Georgians who want someone who reflects their values and who's grown up with their lives. We want to talk about education and investment. We want to talk about helping small businesses grow. We want to do the work of expanding Medicaid. And I'm excited to be the person who can carry that message forward.
Do you like the word liberal?
I think it's a good word. I think progressive, but I also like Democrat. I like winning, and I think that we have a winning coalition in Georgia. I think that every Democrat can get behind our campaign, and I think that we can bring independent thinkers who are ready for real success in Georgia for their families to happen.
And you talk about representing the Georgia of tomorrow. What is the Georgia of tomorrow?
It's a Georgia that recognizes that diversity is our strength, that invests in small businesses with the same verve that we invest in bringing big companies to Georgia. It's one that invests in public education, that expands Medicaid, that talks about gun safety, and that really does the hard work of touching every single community. I've worked hard to go across the state, and I will continue to do that through November and beyond, because I know that every Georgian's voice matters and their votes matter.
Okay, so over on the Republican side, you have a runoff between Brian Kemp and Casey Cagle. Not a big surprise there either. How do you look at that? Is that an advantage to you in the fact that those two are going to beat up on each other over the next 9 weeks as they prepare for their runoff election? But on the other side, you don't exactly know who you're going to face yet.
It doesn't really matter. I wish both of them well in their race. I'm running for Georgia, not against Republicans. My mission is to make certain we bring all of the voters we need to the table, that we are having conversations in every part of the state, and that people know that they will have in me a governor who wants them to have the freedom and opportunity to thrive. I'm not running against anyone. I'm running for Georgians.
We talk a lot about your political career, but you've done some other things as well. Maybe you're an author, you've run small businesses. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm a business owner. I started a small business called Now Account with my business partners, and we've helped create or retain more than 2,000 jobs in Georgia in the last few years. I am a tax attorney by training. I ran a nonprofit that registered 200,000 voters. I write books. I wrote romance novels, and I recently published my first memoir/leadership book. And I had the privilege of serving as the Democratic leader in the House for 7 years.
You mentioned not running against anyone, but running for Georgia. How important is it to you that you don't move, you don't budge, you stay on your point and your platform?
I believe that progressive values are all of Georgia's values. Education, making certain we have bold and educated children, investing in our businesses, making certain our small businesses have the same seat at the table, making certain we have proven leadership that can move our state forward. Those are progressive values, because those are values that say we want more for Georgia. And I think those are values everyone can agree on.
Tell me your strategy going forward. I mean, obviously you say you're not running against, you're running for, but what's your strategy? Because now we look at the polls again, and the polls are going to lean. If you look at the history of the state, certainly in recent years, the Republicans have kind of run state government for a while now.
I hope they've enjoyed their time, because their time is coming to an end. We are going to run a campaign that looks exactly like the last 11 months, going to every part of the state, talking to every voter, valuing those who think their voices don't matter, and making certain they know that we are there for them. And I think we can build a multiracial, multi-ethnic, statewide coalition. If you look at the results of last night, we did great across the state, and I know that coalition can come to the table. I look forward to working with Stacey Evans and with Democrats across the state to make certain we get to victory in November.
What does it mean to you to be the first African-American woman to be the nominee for the Democratic Party for the state of Georgia, and what would it mean for you to become governor?
I am honored to sit in a state that has always been a seat of history, and I see myself being added to that narrative. But what's more important is that I bring my experiences, my very real struggles helping take care of my family, my very real investment in public safety and public service, the work that I've done as a political leader and as a business leader. And what it means for me to be in the governor's mansion is that I can help bring that opportunity to thrive to every single Georgian.
Well, you do really well on very little rest.
Thank you very much.
If you're going to become governor, which is probably going to be something you better get used to, right?
Absolutely.
Well, congratulations to you. We really do appreciate you coming in today and wish you a lot of luck.
Buck, thank you for having me. All
right. And you can depend on us for complete primary election results. They're scrolling right now at the bottom of your screen. And you can also find them on our website, fox5atlanta.com. Elise?
All right, Buck, thanks. Time is